welcome to another live session with Mazia and
Kimana.
And in this week's topic, we're gonna talk about the 3 Ayurvedic pillars to combat stress and boost happiness. So let's straight to the topic. What are the 3 pillars from Ayurveda that can help to combat stress?
So Ayurveda is a system designed for health and healing and improving our longevity. And they say these 3 pillars are the most important to create balance over our life. So the first pillar is related to digestion and eating, how we consume food and how we digest life. The second pillar is related to rest and sleep, the times where we withdraw ourselves away from activity and rejuvenate the body. The third pillar is related to relationships and love. Who do we connect with in life? Who are we loving and sharing our mind with?
Okay, so we're gonna unfold this one by one. And then the first pillar is about digestions and eating. Why is it even important to have properly working digestions? How does that relate to our happiness and stress?
Many traditional medicine systems believe the digestive system is the source of most diseases. I say it's the crossroads of disease. So no matter what the disease is, we can always treat it by influencing the digestive system. It's a powerful area to influence whether or not disease builds up. In Ayurveda, we refer to this as ama or dosha, half-digested byproducts building up in the system, or whether or not disease moves through easily, a channel moving through our body, good functioning agni, good functioning movement principles, so that the doshas, the diseases, can move through the body easily.
And what are the 3 habits? Because we're talking about 3 habits in the 3 pillars. And what's the first habit that can help to, improve our digestions?
Yeah, so for each of these 3 pillars, we'll give 3 habits. The first one for digestion and eating is exercise before breakfast. So before you put any food into the body, first getting everything moving. We want you to move in all directions that you can. It doesn't need to be a full go to the gym, pump out, sweat for an hour exercise. It just means move the body in all directions, get a little bit warm before you start eating and consuming food.
What about exercise?
Exercise could count. That's definitely movement and energy. I don't think that's what they were talking about. That's relationships and love. Here they're talking about physical exercise by yourself.
We hit 2 birds with one stone.
Whatever works for you. Yeah.
Okay. I forgot to mention earlier about an analogy, the importance of having a properly working digestions, and then how it relates to the toxic, like you say, the excess dosha. Kimana often talk in the class about this analogy of seesaw. If the toxic byproduct or ama is high, that is because the agni or the digestive fire is low. But in the other hand, if the digestion is working properly, then the ama is down. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the digestion needs to be super fiery, rapid, strong. Is that correct?
That's right. As the Agni digestive system is working well, it will reduce ama, not necessarily about stronger, higher. Let's just take an example of like a leaf fire or something. That's a digestive fire that's going on. It makes it very difficult for us to digest. If there's a leaf fire or to cook food on top, it's more likely to burn us, more likely to burn the food.
Which is in relation to this first habit, exercise. Is not necessarily mean exercise that makes you exhausted, because if we correlate it with this, fire, by too much exercise, the fire is too much that might burn ourselves. Is that?
It's definitely possible. By a lot of exercise, we would create half-digested byproducts, lactic acid, waste products in the system. So we're talking about a small, regulated amount of exercise done each day before breakfast.
Cool. So the first habit to activating the digestive fire is exercise in the morning before breakfast.
Yep. The second habit is lunch bigger than dinner, or a lighter dinner. Our digestive fire strengthens when the sun is inside the sky, when we can see it, and it decreases when the sun sets. So whatever we eat after the sun goes down, we won't have the same digestive force as we would if it was in the sky. Eating a lighter dinner at night decreases the chance of half-digested byproducts and disease form.
Okay, which is quite contrary with many, culture that we actually eat the most during mealtime, especially when we have, share a meal with people. Somehow we just want to eat more.
That's right. The nighttime meal is our meal to connect and love together. We'll see this when we get to the relationships and love section. So it's an important time to connect with people and love, and to do that occasionally and share a bit of a bigger meal is okay. Yet, if it's our everyday habit, then it will likely lead towards disease. We want a lighter meal a night as a part of our regular habits.
Cool. Third habit.
The third habit is a Kitchari fast, or some form of lightening diet over the yearly cycle. So to have a cleansing period where you're not consuming excess heavy foods will allow the digestive system a break. Now, Ayurveda doesn't necessarily do this with complete water fasts all the time, or taking away all foods. Their favourite is a Kitchari fast, which is rice and mung beans cooked into a soupy stew, and you would eat this for breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Yeah. So, would you please share more about the difference between this Ayurvedic type of fasting compared to other type of fasting that is, what is that? At the end, actually, it's kind of turn off the digestions. Is that correct?
If we don't eat anything for a period of time, then we're not keeping the digestive fire going during that period. We stop. The fire may start burning through our own tissues for a period of time, but it's not necessarily keeping the digestive fire going. That's metabolic fire across the body when we completely stop fasting, stop all food, So compared to an Ayurvedic Kitchari fast, where we're still eating some food, we're eating a tiniest little bit of white basmati rice, but it's in a soupy stew, so there's the smallest amount of carbohydrate in that soupy water. We're also eating some protein with the split yellow mung beans that are in there, and that enables the body to still be burning through some foods as we're going through, but not totally overburdening the system. This means that the digestive fire keeps working throughout the whole fasting program, so then when you get the end of the program, you're far more likely to have cleansed out, yet the fire is on still.
Yeah.
You cleansed out because you were burning through your own resources, the food wasn't enough, but you didn't turn the fire off completely because you were still eating some food over the period.
If you'd like to learn more about detox and diet, you can go to our playlist. There is a specific place about detox and diet, basically, for more information. I also would like to share an experience about the previous Ayurvedic detox retreat that Kimana led. It's based on Ayurveda and naturopathy. So I'm not doing the proper detox. I'm just eating Kitchari, basically, for 7 days, lunch, breakfast, and dinner. I only eat Kitchari. And then, of course, at the beginning it was difficult because my tongue kind of crave for other tastes, which is a sign that there is some ama, that this byproduct built up that's kind of make my taste bud is not sensitive, is not able to perceive the subtleness of food. But on day 3 and day 4, food, the Kitchari, gets so much tastier. We keep asking with the chef, with Kimana's sister, her name is Mickey, about what did you put, what's changing with the Kitchari? Did you put something different in the ingredients? Because it just tastes so much better. But that's not because of the ingredients, that's because of apparently our taste bud that is more sensitive with life, because there is less ama, there is less byproduct or toxic that is actually covering my system, basically.
My older sister had a similar experience. She also just did the food part of the Vitality Now detox program. She just ate the Kitchari. She didn't do all the rest of the detox program with all the herbs, and she had massive results of really being able to taste food before the detox. She ate a whole tub of pickled ginger. Like, I'm talking a whole tub of pickled ginger in one meal time.
And she's saying it's not spicy.
Not spicy, barely even noticed it, not warm. She's just munching through it. And then after we did the detox, she was like, whoa, I can taste chili again. The ginger is so strong. So really being able to perceive properly the tastes within food is important, because if we can't perceive the tastes in food well, we can't guide ourselves through life so easily. We're a bit numb to it. And this numbness to food is actually a reflection of how numb we are to all of the senses and what we're taking in life. How we smell, how we perceive touch, how we hear. This armor, half-digested byproduct, blocks the ability to perceive life accurately and therefore be able to guide yourself through life accurately. Yeah. Imagine flying a plane with poor instruments that were telling you the wrong things. It's the same with our body. If we've got a lot of armor, half-digested byproduct, then the instruments get poor. They don't perceive the environment so well, and a Kitchari fast helps you to burn up that half-digested armor and perceive and taste things good again.
There is an analogy that Kimana also often share about the importance of this properly working digestive system, which is, imagine a fireplace, basically. And then a great fireplace, no matter whatever that you put in there, it will transform it, which is like our digestive system, which is the fire element in our body. And then it will transform it to become an ash, to become, okay, we're not using that anymore. We already use the resource to become, something else as energy. But when it's too low, if we keep, overeating, which is my favorite, the fire might actually be,
swamped out.
Gone.
Yeah.
But at the same time, too strong, too hot, too big fire at the same time is not also good, because it will burn the people who might be too close and burn the house probably. So
it's about having the right flame to cook the right thing, and good digestion is like that. It's not like, more enzymes, more hydrochloric acid, the better. It's about the right amount for the right food, and it's our smell and our taste that prepare the body to go, ooh, this is how much enzymes I need to make. This is how strong I need to make the fire in order to be able to digest this specific food. Yep. So our sensory input is part of what's guiding that process in the body.
And these three habits that we shared earlier about that relates to digestion, which is the first one is exercise before breakfast in the morning, and then eat the right meal portion, especially lunch is the biggest meal of the day. And then the third one is to do Kitchari fasting from time to time, especially when we feel there's so much ama or health byproduct. All of those three will help to keep a working fireplace.
Yeah.
Not too much, not too low. And then
you can get a Kitchari recipe on Kimana.com.
Yeah.
KIMMANA.com.
And if you would like to join Kimana's future Vitality Now Ayurvedic Detox Retreat, it's gonna be in January 2019 in Bali, our island home. More information on that is on balancelife.id/events.
Second pillar of Ayurveda is rest and sleep, properly rejuvenating the body at the right time. So we always need this yin-yang perspective of like drawing away, building resources, and then pushing out into the world. And there's ideal times that this happens. We've been growing up for thousands and millions of years possibly with the evolution of the sun rising and setting, or the earth spinning and it appearing to rise and set, and that's meant to trigger this yang into the day and yin drawing back away. So the first thing to really balance exercise, sleep, rest is go to bed early, wake up early.
No!
Yeah, this is so fundamental for our health and the way that our mind is wired. We are linked to the sun's cycles. I'm going to talk about a few secretions in the brain and the system that are linked to this cycle. The first one is human growth hormone. When we go to sleep early and wake up early, we make much more human growth hormone. 11 p.m. to 2 a.m., this is the maximum times we secrete it. Human growth hormone is the body's youth hormone. It goes around the body and says it's time to make this new and more healthy again. The second one is when we wake early in the morning and we see the sunrise, we make more serotonin. Serotonin is like happiness, enthusiasm. Yeah, I want to get into the day and I feel good about this. The third one is related to melatonin. When we go to sleep earlier and we reduce bright lights at night, then we make more melatonin. It helps us sleep deeper, rejuvenate more, recover the body easily. This is our first one. Go to bed early, wake up early.
By just go to bed early and wake up early, we activate those 3 benefits.
All of those 3 things happen just by doing that.
When you say go bed early, how early? And when you say wake up early, can you specify on that?
The specific time window would be somewhere in the 9 p.m. to 10:30. This is probably the window, and it's going to change a little bit as you go around the world and the season that you're in. Yet we're looking at around that period, and the specific wake-up period is going to be as close to sunrise. Now, again, that's going to change. If sunrise is at 2:33 a.m. that season, then it's as close to sunrise as realistic. We all need a good amount of sleep during the night, somewhere between 6 and 10 hours sleep, different for each person. So that's rough windows.
Yeah. I need to mention that there's something called Brahma Kal, 1.5 hour before the sunrise. They call it the, what's Brahma Kal translation? I forgot.
Brahma, time of the Great Spirit,
yeah, the
basically.
Time of Great Spirit.
And it's where we can connect deepest with more spiritual aspect of meditation. For those that are on a very spiritual path, then waking very early in the morning, about an hour and a half before sunrise, and meditating.
Yeah. So that's the first one.
So next one for rest and sleep. Number 2 is afternoon energy checkpoint. Each day between 2 and 6 p.m. roughly, your body will start to tune in and go, oh, how much energy do I have left? And if it's a little bit tired, it'll give you a little bit of a reminder at that time and go, oh, my energy's getting a little bit less. Maybe you should have a rest.
Not have a coffee.
Very common that at this time people will reach for a coffee, chocolate, sugar, stimulants to keep powering on and going. And what this happens is that we draw upon our stored resources inside the body. The coffee doesn't give us extra energy. It just says you can use more of what you've already stored. If this goes on for a long period of time, then it really likens the chance that we will reduce the body's stored vitality, the immune system won't run so well, and sleep could start to deteriorate. So if you can, make sure that in that 2 to 6 p.m. each afternoon, you have the ability to listen to your body and go, oh, maybe I need just 20-minute rest, maybe a meditation, a yoga nidra. And this is especially important for those in chronic fatigue or real energy deficient problems, immune system problems, and insomnia. It's this afternoon cycle, 2 to 6 p.m., where you can build up the body's stored resources more.
Is there any relationship with what organs is currently activated at that time? Because I remember in Chinese medicine there are specific organs, something.
There's a big relationship with that. Yeah, that's a complex topic. There's 12 different times of the day according to Chinese medicine. They're broken into 2-hour blocks, and each one of these times of the day influences how our body focuses energy towards certain organs and systems of the body. The afternoon period is the kidney and the bladder time, and in Chinese medicine these relate to our stored vitality, stored energy.
At Kimana's 200-hour yoga Ayurveda bodywork training, which is the school called Ayurvedic Yoga that I attended last year, this is the part where I learned more about these meridians, how it relates to the day, and then, for example, for the last 1 month, I've been waking up at the same time every day between 3 and 4. And then when I see back again to the meridians that is get activated around that time, that relates to the imbalance that I'm currently having. So it's really important, I think, even as person, to just understand the correlation between our organs and the time of the day to see what's currently going on, what's imbalances that might happen because it's related with the time of the day. So yeah,
it's one of the areas I'm most passionate about is that daily time clock and seeing what gets activated at certain times and flowing with the natural cycle that we've grown up, this relationship to the sun for thousands, millions of years possibly, to align with that cycle and take advantage of it.
Great. So the first one is, we have a cheat sheet down there.
The first
Sleep
one,
early,
sleep early,
wake up early.
early.
The second one is after an energy checkpoint. That's a funny name.
And the third one is some sort of nervous system nourishing drinks at night. So valerian, chamomile, sleep type tonics. So even an almond milk drink with a little bit of nutmeg in it. a tiny bit of ghee. These sorts of things nourish the nervous system, help the body ground down. Normally we'd be having this in this 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. window, getting the body ready to go to sleep.
That's a specific, what is that? Is there any more specific tonic from Ayurveda that you will recommend?
If you want a specific formula, one called Chayavanprash is useful. Yeah. Chayavanprash is an Ayurvedic formula that's like a jam. It's like a medicinal jam, and you could just take 1 to 3 teaspoons of this jam and put it in hot water and stir that up and then be drinking that. It also could be cooked into milk, like almond milk too.
Cool. So that's the 3 habits and relates to the rest and sleep.
Yep.
Pillars, and the 3rd pillar is which is relationship and love.
So relationship and love is a hugely underestimated area of our life when it comes to health, and it's so important because it influences the health of our psychology. The people that we spend time with, that we love, that we connect with, are so influential on how we think and what happens throughout the rest of the body. So having good, loving, healthy relationships really helps our longevity.
And happiness.
In fact, they even did a study at Harvard University over 80 years, was it?
Yes, the longest studies from Harvard.
The longest longevity studies that have ever been done in the world. And these longevity studies show that the most influential thing on health and happiness over a long period of time was not a certain food or a certain lifestyle practice, but rather the relationships we had. Whether or not we still had happy, healthy relationships continuing throughout our life meant that we were healthier longer, as a generalization from their study. And I think it was like 280 people over 80 years. And this was their final conclusion, that the most powerful thing for health and longevity was happy, healthy relationships.
And other things.
Yeah.
So that's the 3rd pillar, love and relationship. Now we're going to talk about the 3 habits that Ayurveda recommends to
form and keep happy, healthy relationships. So in order for a long, happy, healthy relationship, the first one is share a meal together. Spend some time with the people that you love, that you want to connect with, and share a substance together. Whenever we share a substance together, we become a little bit more like each other. We now have the same molecules inside us, and we're sharing that experience together. Ayurveda says the best time of the day for this is the 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. period, where we may connect and love. If we are sharing dinner together, it would be right at the beginning of that period, close towards sunset. This is our time to connect with family, friends, loved ones, to enjoy that kapha connection quality.
Yeah. I need to mention that in my family, in a quite typical Indonesian family, we don't really have a habit of sharing meal together. And so since I'm together with Kimana, I started to develop this as a habit, and then it's really powerful for not only for our relationship, but how I see myself and how I can receive more connections through that. So yeah, I think I will say amen to that. That's the first one.
For pillar number 3,
2,
relationships and love, and
number
the
2.
habits number 2
Okay,
within pillar number 3, is touch and massage. So to touch and connect with someone is really influential. So massage and touch, they say, is a necessary thing within the loving connections of our life, to have this touch quality. And they've found through modern science that every time we touch someone, we secrete more oxytocin. Oxytocin is like the empathy hormone. It makes us want to serve someone else just as much or more than ourselves. So the more that we touch and connect with people, the more that we want to serve, connect, and love them. One of the things that I work with couples that may be argumenting is I'll say, stop talking, give each other a foot massage for a little while. Reduce the argument to grunts. And just give each other a foot massage.
Grunting.
Yeah, after you've done your grunt for a little while, and then you give each other a foot massage, and then you can start talking. I would prefer to not do this for arguments and just give each other a foot massage regularly, and then the empathy is already there and there's less chance for arguments too.
Again, I would like to share my experience because as someone who come from a typical Indonesian family who are we're not so adjust on even expressing love and even touch or hugging. And then I remember what is that? Went to Kimana's first Ayurvedic bodywork training and learned about bodywork, and that involves a lot of touch. It was so weird at the beginning, weird because it's not something that I'm adjusted to. But then after that, I am actually craving to be touched more because you can't crave something before you know how it felt. So, but after I know how good that makes me feel about being, touched and being loved through touch, I realized that, oh wow, where have I been in my life?
Hugs all round, hugs all round, yeah.
So anyone who met me, you're welcome to hug me.
Yeah.
Okay, next one.
So they've got share a meal together, touch and massage. This is for the relationships and love pillar. And the third one is service and support. Have a look at your community, the people you love, the relationships that you interact with, and see where you can serve. There's been quite a few studies on depression where they've just used service to bring people out of depression. And in those studies, they've said you need to do 1 to 3 things every day that is not for pay or money, just because you want to help someone out. So 1 to 3 things just to serve for the sake of helping out. Maybe it's washing someone's car, helping a lady cross the road, whatever that little area of service is. Inside that same habit is also support. If you need support, ask people to come and serve. Give them that opportunity to come and serve you as well. It's through requesting support, rather than thinking, oh no, me, I'm not worthy of support or other thing. Think, I'm giving the opportunity for people to serve. If we don't request something, then we don't give people the opportunity to serve. So we ask them, would you mind doing this for me? Not in a, please do this, beg, beg, beg. Would you mind? Yeah, giving people the opportunity to serve gives them the opportunity to give with love and create loving connections.
And then support as well. I think it's important to find someone who can truly understand you and not judge you towards the things the stress issue, whatever issue that you might have. And then I remember a saying, even a study probably, we are the 5 people we spend most of our time with. So I think it's also important, about this relationship and support and love.
I think as you do these 3 habits that we've been talking about, sharing a meal together, touch and massage, service and support, you'll naturally find that you'll create more wholesome and happier relationships, because those 3 habits will attract the people that want to continue those 3 habits, and will start to repel the people that don't want to continue those 3 habits. So it'll create happy, healthy relationships. It will improve the people that you naturally already spend time with, and then it will also bring in people into your environment that are even more within the direction that you want to go, more wholesome, happy, healthy.
Cool. Okay, from Lynn. Hi, Lynn.
Hey, Lynn. Do we mean that Chayawanprash is meant to be taken of an evening rather than in the morning? It's fine to take morning or evening Chayawanprash. This is the Ayurvedic herbal formula that comes as a jam. If there is kapha or any ama in the body, they would prefer to take it in the morning. Just as we wouldn't eat the dinner late, they would prefer to have it in the morning, give you more time to digest the formula. Yet it still could be used at night. It wouldn't be used at night in such high doses, so the 1 to 3 teaspoons is the window I've given there. Whereas in the morning, people could be having a lot of Chayawanprash cooked into a milk or something. In fact, one of my teachers in India prescribed, it was a good half tub, like we're talking 100 grams or more of Chayawanprash cooked into milk as his breakfast each morning. But he was just eating that and wasn't eating anything else. So larger amounts morning, smaller amounts, and especially for Vata or Pitta that need a tonic before they go to bed, Chayawanprash at night can be great. Right? So it's been a pleasure to share with you all. If you're interested to attend further education, we'll be holding the Ayurvedic Yoga School's 200-hour, 1 month long live-in event in Bali. It'll be teaching a lot of the principles we've gone through today, the 3 pillars of health as they relate to digestion, how to assess and diagnose someone's different digestive type, digestive herbs to help them with, lifestyle therapies like we've gone through today. We'll look at relationships and the way in which we communicate with others, special tools to enhance our communication as well. We'll teach people a foot massage as well as all types of massage to deal with therapy across the body. There'll be a lot of lifestyle therapies and you'll get to actually live them. Going to bed early, waking up early, exercising first thing in the morning, breakfast, lunch and dinner of ideal foods all throughout this month-long training in Bali. And it starts
November 12th until December 9th in Ubud.
We'd love to see you there. If you want more information on that, you can see it at
www.thaivedicyoga.com.
Great. Wonderful to share with you all and look forward to seeing you next week.
Next week for another topic. Wait for the notification on your wall or newsfeed. Thank you for joining us, and we hope the session for today can benefit your life, and talk to you next week.
Great.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.